This is the best way to build ESIL. Let's talk about it. What's good, YouTube? NoGoodEman coming to you today with an ESIL RADIRU guide video. So guys, we're talking the early build guide for the ESIL Radish clan member herself. The human world is so curious. What is she even talking about? I don't even know, but she has to know what's the best artifacts to put on her, guys. Today's video is going to be basically theorizing the best artifacts to put on ESIL because we already have some info on her. So before we talk ESIL, make sure you guys leave a like on the video. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss a live or an upload, and then click that second link in the description to support your boy on that memorable website for those free codes. You can only support one creator. It should be NoGoodEman, but click that link in the description, then click that fourth link in the description to get your daily gift draw. And as we get, let's see what we're getting today, market time 3. So definitely hope you guys get a better reward for me, but let's go ahead and talk about ESIL herself. So guys, we're rumored to know that ESIL is already going to be a fire character, and then we're hearing that she's going to be a tank unit. Now, when you think of a fire tank unit, what character you think of? Honestly, there's only one character that should come to mind because there is only one tank fire unit in the game, I believe, and that's going to be the lovely lady LAURENT. Now, what I'll say about LAURENT is actually kind of a gimmick character if you think about it. So ESIL is rumored to be another gimmick character, so these two characters might actually coincide, then, you know, clash. But let's go ahead and talk about Emma herself and then basically break down what I think we'll get from ESIL's kit if we do think about Emma. And how we say Emma's a gimmick character, really we're only talking about at Advancement 5, because at Advancement 5, this is when the gimmick of Emma does come into play. So when the target enters the break state, it's going to reset all the cooldowns of all their skills and then recover the core gauge, power gauge by 100%. That means that your core and power gauge will both be at maximum. So you'll basically get your core tech and your ultimate the second LAURENT breaks an enemy's gauge, and then that's going to apply the damage increase effect, which basically gives her a damage boost of 77% for 15 seconds. Essentially, this is gonna make LAURENT a mini DPS for about 15 seconds. It's kind of insane if you think about it. This is kind of the first gimmick character currently in the game, and I do think that a lot of characters kind of modeled after LAURENT in some sort of way. Honestly, if you look at GIMMICK's kit, it's kind of played off of Emma in a way, right? Because LAURENT is a character that has the burn up move, and this is honestly an insane AoE move as we kind of preview it. And then he eventually did get a kind of AoE move with his basic skill too. So definitely, I will say LAURENT is kind of like the blueprint when it comes to how they're making tank units. So I am very excited to see what ESIL's kit personally will have in store. But let's go ahead and talk about the artifacts, right? Because obviously we got to talk about tank units, artifacts for tank units. I'm gonna be real, guys. A lot of people are going to look for that burning greed. Now, here's the main reason why, because if ESIL's kit does a lot of break amongst a lot of her skills, you're basically gonna want to run burning greed, and more importantly 8 set effect burning greed, because when attacking enemies with the elemental weakness, the break effect increases by 30%. This means that if, let's say, we take LAURENT or ESIL that's a fire unit and we take them to a content that is weak to fire, they're going to have an increased break damage to an opponent's break gauge by 30%. And it definitely applies. You definitely will see the 30% take effect, because it's honestly insane how much more break damage you will do. So that's only one part of why you kind of want to run burning greed on your tank units. But let's go ahead and read the rest of these. It also will increase the user and their team members' critical hit rate and damage by 15%. Well, that's the hit rate, and then the damage will be 30%. And that will happen after you guys stack up greed 10 times. So honestly, if you're playing proper rotations, you can honestly get burning greed active within like 30 seconds of using your characters. I do it all the time with GIMMICK. With LAURENT, it's just as easy. So with that, guys, I do think that if ESIL turns out to be a break tank character, then you're definitely gonna want to run burning greed for sure. Burning greed is gonna be amazing to run on ESIL. Now, here's what I'll say, because we do not know whether ESIL is going to scale off of attack, defense, or HP. Now, I personally think that we're going to see a tank character, but that's going to scale off of attack. And currently, there are no characters like that in the game. So if we bring up all our tank units, I believe that each and every one of these tank units go off of defense or HP. So defense, HP, we got HP, we got defense, HP, we got defense. I think ESIL might be the first tank character. So she's gonna have the tank symbol, but I think she might be the first character that's gonna be a tank unit that's going to scale off of attack, which might be insane, but it won't be honestly nothing too crazy that we haven't seen before, because we do have other units that deal break damage, but they base off of attack. So you kind of want to think your archer units. We're thinking more so Ana Ruiz and Limte. If we go to their kits, they basically have burning greed as well, but their damage is dealt off of attack. But if we look in their kit, they do break in their kit. So definitely it's something to think about. Now again, they could just make ESIL in the archer category, but ESIL does not use any type of bow and arrow, so it might not make sense. Of course, they could just make ESIL an assassin, whatever the case may be, but I'm hearing that's going to be for Kane. So definitely I think Kane is going to be the more important character to get, and then ESIL will be something like a buffer character. And of course, if she's going to be a gimmick character, I do think that we're probably going to want her if you're going to focus on that fire meta when Kane does drop. So with that, Burning Greed is going to be the most important set to at least try on ESIL to start. If you don't like Burning Greed, or if you don't have access to good Burning Greed sets, I think that another set that will come into play, at least on the left side, might be Solid Analysis. Now, a lot of people aren't probably using Solid Analysis all too much recently, but for the content that's to come for the new Workshop of Brilliant Light, I'm definitely expecting to see a bunch of break bosses, bunch of bosses with break gauges and everything like that. So hear me out, Solid Analysis is honestly still good as a 4-set effect because it's going to increase your break effectiveness, and then when you attack enemies with the weakness, the elemental weakness, the break effect increases by 30%. So you can definitely utilize that. On the right side, you actually have a good amount of options on the right side, because ESIL being a tank character means that she's more so in the support category more than the DPS category, and that's honestly kind of what we want. Honestly, I am very much on board with more support characters being introduced, because we have the heavy hitters. We got the Chahe, we got the Alicia Blanc, we got the Amame Mire, the Thomas Andre. So I think now's the best time to start dropping in those support units, those tank characters within a game. Even if they're not must-haves, we can definitely see the usefulness and utility in each and every character that does drop. So with that, right side, you definitely want to look at Sylph's Blessing. This is honestly one of the best sets that a lot of players are putting on all their new support characters, because the units, or not the units, but the usefulness of Sylph's Blessings all around is insane. And then from there, Outstanding Connection is definitely another good one that you can pair up on that right side. Outstanding Ability, if ESIL ends up doing a good amount of DPS, you definitely want to throw that on. And really, that might be it. You could argue for Concentration of Firepower, but this one usually brings back your cooldowns at risk of your mana. So long drawn out battles, Concentration isn't too good. Honestly, people only use Concentration in like Battle for the Time. But from there, I do think that these will be some considerable sets for ESIL if you want. I honestly think this might be in the exact order, right? Because Sylph's Blessing is always going to be an insane. It's honestly the best right side support artifacts you can put on. Sylph's Blessing, 1,000,000% doesn't even stand a chance if we're talking for your support units. And then from there, Outstanding Connection, a very good skill to be running. But the thing with Outstanding Connection, if we do solo it really quickly, is that it is pertained to increasing the attack for your DPS unit. So something to note, if you're gonna pair ESIL, and the best way to pair ESIL will probably be on a fire team. So if you're gonna max out ESIL for your fire team, then it's probably gonna look something like shown. So let's go ahead and show you guys what I mean. If we go down to our fire team, in the fire video that I literally released yesterday, I said that ESIL would probably replace Emma in this lineup. I still see that probably happening. Now, what I will say is if ESIL turns out to be a gimmick character that's more gimmicky than break, you could technically pair up Emma Laurent and ESIL, and that would be an insane lineup. But currently, the DPS from Gina and Yu So-hyun alone is outstanding, guys. So I don't suggest taking rid of either one of them. In all honesty, I would get rid of Emma Laurent, but definitely that's gonna be what your team's looking like. So it's gonna be Gina, Yu So-hyun, and then ESIL Radiru in that last spot. And you might go crazy. That team's gonna look super insane. I will say the fire team thoroughly surprised me yesterday, so definitely check that video out if you guys haven't. But with that, that is the best way you guys want to build ESIL RADIRU. And then of course, when she drops, make sure you stay tuned for that first day guide video, teaching you guys the best rotations and everything in between. But for now, what do you guys think of ESIL RADIRU? How are you guys gonna build it when she drops? Go ahead and leave your thoughts, theories, and comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Peace.